110 grams of sugar. All right, it's not the warmest day, but I am craving this. Bunch of raspberries, 110 grams of sugar, and 3 bananas with water. I love it. Classic breakfast. Something that I would suggest before having a kind of colder smoothie would be to have like some warm lemon sugar water. That's what I've been having for the last couple days, and I really like that in the morning instead of just going bang with like plain water. But yeah, I love this smoothie. I'm never gonna not like this smoothie. And I'm just having a little conversation with Carb King as I'm enjoying this. So that's it, 1 liter of fruit and sugar. All right, what's up guys? So now I'm getting ready to go to the gym, and there's 3 dates left. I'm probably gonna have all 3 of them. I've been drinking some water. So let's go. I'm not gonna lie, like I really don't wanna go to the gym, but I'm gonna go because as soon as you get there, it's just like, all right, I'm just gonna get my ass moving. So let's go to the gym. Nothing like a little sugar to motivate you. It's really that simple. Most of the time, you probably just need a little bit of hydration and a little bit of sugar to get moving. Some days I have to follow my own advice. I don't really want to go to the gym. It's cold and dreary and very gray and blah outside. But I'm putting some sunshine into the body. And really, I've never gone to the gym once and left and thought like, you know, I wish I didn't do that. Or a yoga class or whatever the physical activity is. Even it's like, it's kind of like how you have to like drag your kids, like, let's go. Like, I feel like I have to drag my complaining mind. But yeah, and like I'm also kind of like, I'm in my luteal phase, and I'm just sort of like wants to like cuddle and be alone and organize, and kind of like you get this sort of like fixation on things that you have kind of left to the wayside because you've been so physically active and enthusiastic and social and blah blah, like firing off, so that when the hormones drop you kind of get to like reflect. And yeah, I find I do more cleaning and more organizing when I'm in this phase, and I like to kind of just be like left alone with my music or with whatever I'm doing. But and I love music at the gym. That really invigorates my spirit, and it makes me laugh, and I sing the lyrics, and yeah, it's fun for me. So this is my 3rd date. So the mind can play tricks on you, I guess, is the point. And if it can be done now, if it can be done within a couple minutes, then do it. Because waiting for tomorrow, you're going to be disappointed in yourself. Because then tomorrow there's going to be new obstacles and obligations and opportunities, perhaps. That's the grass for the cat. All right. I'm gonna pack my bag because we're gonna hit the sauna to warm up. I'm gonna bring water with me, juice with me, and I think we have lots of baby food. This is the best baby food I've ever had. I mean, the stuff in North America that I have found, correct me if I'm wrong, but it is terrible. I have to add sugar to it. I'd much rather just buy like applesauce at Walmart and add sugar to it or whatever, put it on your oats or whatever you're doing. So yeah, and that's another thing I was thinking about yesterday during my live when someone mentioned that Dr. Rogers said that oats are just as acidic as meat. That's why I don't have a lot of oats when I have oats. I have like 50 G's of oats maximum, and then I add sugar to it and I add fruit to it. So it's making it more carbohydrates, which Dr. Rogers would probably poo-poo that I put this beautiful white sugar on it. But yeah, nobody's approach is perfect. That's why I like to draw from all the sources and mess around and find out and work with what's working for me and what doesn't work for me and what serves me and what doesn't serve me. So this will serve me at the gym. Water and juice. Let's get ready. All right, I was on the elliptical for about a half an hour, and now it's time to stretch out. Usually I like to stretch before I start doing cardio, but whatever, I changed it up here today. So this is me working on my squat. Again, I like to keep my feet as straight as possible. Inside ankle bone is high, and I'm working on bringing my heels to the ground. So that's why I use this 7-kilo ball to help me. And yeah, take a little break. We want our knees wide and our hips as low as possible. So I've got to work on my ankle flexibility and my hip flexibility here. When I was young, I did have a severe injury, like moving a palm tree when I worked for the city and landscaping. That's a long story short, but basically throughout my 20s, whenever I was in a stressful situation, my back would start to hurt because I had a poor diet, because I had a poor fitness regime, and because I was drinking and smoking and stressing myself out at work. And so, yeah, that's where my pain and stress would come from. But since I've started practicing these squats and getting my diet in check and going to bed early and giving up the smoking and drinking and all the bad vices that are in this world, my pain has subsided immensely, and I would say that I don't even feel it anymore unless I fall off of things, unless I don't take care of myself and I'm sedentary and I'm not drinking enough water and I'm not getting enough sleep and I'm not prioritizing the diet. Then you can start to feel those aches and pains in the joints, or if I'm having too much salt. But yeah, if everything's in check, then your body rewards you by telling you that you're doing the right thing. So anyway, this is me just stretching. I think it's really important to really warm yourself up. So I like to do this for at least 5 to 10 minutes and then include any kind of shoulder rolls that feel good. Basically just to get the blood moving and the lymphatic system moving. Because if you don't do that, then you're not doing much.
Okay, now I am on the bike. So if you are on the heavier side and you are not confident to run and you think that like it might be really bad for your knees, or you're not quite sure how to run properly, as in you're not sure how your gait is, I would definitely say get on the bike, get on the elliptical, get on these things that support you initially, and then eventually, like, and of course, walking is perfectly fine. So if you like to get outside and walk, please continue doing that. But if you want to start a running regime, you really have to get your posture in check. And what I mean is get your feet in check. So a lot of people run and it looks very painful on their joints, and they might be thin and fit, but it still is a really odd gait. And they have like duck feet type gait instead of more of a straight foot or even slightly pigeon toed. So when I ran track, my coach would always tell me that I'm pigeon toed, but I'm very grateful for that because that kept my joints in a safe position. So in any case, cycling is wonderful. Having that support is wonderful. And then once you kind of build up that confidence, maybe you lose a few pounds or kilos and you want to start trying to do a little bit of jogging, please do that. And just assess yourself. Like if there's pain in your hips and your knees and your ankles, and you have to realize that something isn't right about the way that you're putting your feet on the ground. When I run, I never heel strike or have my heel land first. And in fact, I try to run basically on my toes the whole time. And I am in my luteal phase here. So like a lot of women would probably not suggest that you do a lot of cardio when you're on your luteal phase. And I'm with you, but I'm just here and I felt like it was appropriate. I had enough carbs to do it. So, but I definitely did rest after this, and I didn't do much for the rest of the day. But yeah, I would definitely suggest doing more of like a HIIT style workout or a boxing type of workout, or a very heavy weights and very cardio paced workout is great for like your follicular and your ovulation phase. And then more yoga and stretching and zone 2 and taking it easy is more appropriate for your luteal phase. But as long as you are moving, I don't know, 4 or 5 times a week, that's wonderful. And of course, like hopefully on the days that you're not moving, you have got some kind of steps in. But nobody should be comparing themselves to me. And I don't compare myself to anybody else online or at the gym because there is no point. It's me against who I was yesterday, and it's me trying to improve upon what I know I can do better at. So that's the point here. Yeah, we've got Carb King on the camera, so everything's looking good. Yeah, it's a pretty steady pace. It's nothing fancy. Again, I don't love running on the treadmill. I would much rather run outside. It's so much more stimulating. You can look at things. You get different smells and sounds and sights in the air. Whereas when you're on the treadmill, you kind of just see the same thing, and you really have to have some good music to keep you motivated, at least in my opinion. So as far as the eating and drinking goes, while I am at the gym, I did in fact drink all of this apple juice. I did in fact have that baby food, and I did have a whole liter of water while I was here. Probably could have had more. And after this jog, we went in the sauna for about a half an hour. Now, if you think that's too long, most people can probably handle the sauna for about 15 minutes, which is great. We just go in there a little bit longer because we enjoy the heat and we've kind of like climatized to it, and we don't have a bunch of fat running through our veins, so it's a lot easier for us to breathe and be calm while we're in the sauna. But here I am running in my barefoot shoes, and as you can see, my heel is not coming down. It's almost there, but not quite. and I'm trying to just keep a solid pace here. I didn't run for very long, and I didn't run for, kilometers and kilometers, but I did do this. So I know I'm going to have these haters in the comments telling me that, I don't know, they tell me all kinds of things. People are waiting for me. I literally have people following me so that they can comment on my videos and be the first ones to watch. It is quite amazing the amount of polarization that I get in the comments. It's either you guys love me or you hate me. And I must be doing something right, if I can cause such strong emotions from people who have never met me in my life. And I appreciate all the good ones. You guys really motivate me to keep making these videos so that we can all communicate and be in a community together that supports the high carb, low fat lifestyle. And it is quite interesting to have all the carnivores come in and tell me that. I don't even want to repeat the things that they say. And I honestly don't even read some of the comments because they're just so long. I've got people doing like short essays in the comments and trying to convince me that they're smarter than me or that they know more than me. And people love to hear good things about their bad habits, and misery loves company, This is why I changed my life. This is why I changed my diet and my lifestyle so dramatically from what it used to be, is because I realized that I was just in a loop of people that were just basically waiting to die. They were just doing what everybody else was doing and hoping that it was going to make them feel better at some point, but it just wasn't working out. Another thing about a woman's cycle is that when we're ovulating, which is like the peak of all of our hormones, and the testosterone is the highest, that is what it is like, I would imagine. When you're ovulating, that's what it's like to be a man. Probably a healthy man has 10 times more the testosterone than a woman does, and they have that kind of peak of testosterone every single day. So they have to find a way to transmute that kind of energy into getting something done instead of just chasing tail, right? So it is very interesting that I do find when I am like leading up to ovulating, or when I am ovulating, I feel like this whole surge of confidence come over me. And I think it's really good to take advantage of that and to do something with it, with work or goals or like whatever your purpose, whatever you're trying to do. And so tracking your cycle is probably the smartest thing you can do. And you don't need an app to do it. You literally just need a calendar, like a little agenda, and to do a little bit of reading online to figure out what you've done. So, okay, I'm done running, having some juices. Okay, so back from the gym, and naturally I am starving. So it is about 4 o'clock here. So I'm making a quick pasta sauce. So the salty thing that I'm adding to this is a little bit of white miso paste, but I am having probably half of a teaspoon, if that, put in. I've also got some tomato paste in there, some white sugar, some pepper, mixed in with half of a red onion. I think I did 3 cloves of garlic, half of a carrot, and half of a stalk of celery. Boiling some water for the pasta. Red onion, garlic, carrots, celery, Worcestershire sauce, and a little bit of miso paste, black pepper, tomato paste, and sugar so far. I'm gonna add these tomatoes and roasted red peppers in. Would you like some? Every time I'm cooking, he likes to join me, but he also likes to get pets in between. I'm gonna make spaghetti. $70 grams of carbs per 100, 1.3 grams of fat per 100. I'm gonna have about, I think I said 195 grams are left. Everything is cooking in water. I have no oil, no added salt, but of course the miso paste has some salt in it. But yeah, can of tomatoes, can of roasted red peppers are in. I'm gonna let that do its thing. Water's about ready to boil, or water's about ready for the spaghetti. Okay, that's it so far.
All right, so this is bowl number 1. There's still more noodles left I'm absolutely going to have with the tomato sauce. I blended it up. Let's eat.
So when we got back from the gym, Carb King ended up having another banana smoothie with sugar and passion fruit juice. I was done with the sweets and I wanted to move on to savory and warm and satisfying, so that's why I'm having this bowl of pasta. But either meal can serve you. If you come back from the gym and you're like, you know what, I want to have some more fruit, I want to have some jam, I want to have some applesauce, then you do that. But I am in my luteal phase and I wanted to eat something and I needed that satisfaction, so there we go.
Okay, so I just still have just some sauce left in this bowl. I'm gonna go fill up with more spaghetti. Okay, so this is bowl number 2. So that's all 195 grams of the pasta, 195 grams dry, and then the sauce.
Now, I've eaten 500 grams of dry pasta before, but this satisfies me. I have between probably 200 to 300 grams of pasta with a sauce, and that's a good meal for me. By the time I'm done this meal, it's about 5 o'clock, and of course I forgot to record. I did record it, but it was in slow motion and it was ridiculous, so I wasn't going to add it into the video, but I did drink water before.
But right now I feel perfect. I don't feel overly full, but I feel satisfied. All right. Okay, Carb King has graciously allowed me to have some of his rice. So I'm gonna eat this rice with tomato sauce that I made earlier and have this like little package of crisps with it. And that'll be my dinner.
So my best advice to you guys is to just eat until you're satisfied and sweeten your food as your taste buds require. Some days I have more, some days I have less. It's like, it really depends on what you want to accomplish that day, how you're feeling, and if you think like you need to increase your mood or you need to increase your productivity and you don't want to feel heavy and you don't want to feel like at lunchtime you just had a very heavy, starchy meal and like now you want a nap. You know, there is a time and a place for everything. So, but I always start my day by hydrating. I always start my day with a fruity, sugary, juicy type meal. It happened to be that this day I was like, quote unquote, raw till 4, you know, even though I had pasteurized juice or whatever, but I was like fruit and juice until 4. And then I ended up having one starch meal at 5 and another one, it's about 8 o'clock. And then to top it all off, I had an apple just to satisfy my sweet tooth. Thanks for watching.